Welcome to Hemp Sisters Nation, where you don't need a reservation. I said, Mama, hello, stand with open arms. Here to warn you with the one more time. Yeah, one more time, baby. Welcome to the nation.
Good afternoon,
Hello.
everyone in LinkedIn and potentially YouTube land.
Actually, it's YouTube land. Hello, YouTubers.
Hello,
We're
YouTubers.
working on the LinkedIn because they're being fun right now.
Well, anyway, I am Gina, Mama Epps,
I'm Lolo.
and we are your Hemp Sisters over at Hemp Sisters Nation. And we just wanted to do a little quick intro to ourselves today and kind of let you guys know who we are, what we're all about, and, you know, a little this and a little that.
Yeah, so thank you. And we actually want to celebrate a quick milestone really quick, which is our 500 plus YouTube subscribers.
Yes,
so thank you so much for your support. And
Thank you. I mean,
really cool.
this is new to us. We've only been on YouTube a few months. So I think this is our 4th month, maybe.
Yeah,
So, you know,
what a ride.
Yeah, so
We're
we're
on-
excited.
This would be technically like episode 18. Full sit down interview situation. So that's really cool.
Pretty solid, guys.
Very
Pretty solid.
solid.
So we're excited. So let's talk a little bit about us. G&L Wellness. G&L Wellness is our umbrella company.
That's correct.
It's where my very best friend on the planet and I merged our businesses. And maybe I could even go back a step.
Please do.
Yeah.
How do we even get to GNL? Like,
Well,
GNL for
talk about
life, but
Lo and I actually have known each other since the very day we were born.
Yes.
Literally. I am a few years older, and our moms were best friends, our dads were best friends, so we were raised together. Our children have been raised together, so we are
generational. We are generationally tied.
yeah, so not your average partnership, not your average business adventure. I mean, we are closer than sisters, possibly. So
I have a lot more things in common with my non-blood sister than I actually have with my sister.
I mean, the relationship is just, it's an incredible blessing, So I came from an education background. Lo was in hotel management, hospitality.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of merged our superpowers and got into the cannabis industry.
We did. We took a little bit. I'm from the hospitality industry, so I took in a skill set with dealing with all kinds of people, to be able to apply that to what we were trying to do, together for being new moms or starting new families. And GNL Wellness birthed in.
It was born.
So,
GNL Wellness, we worked with a lot of products, hemp oil products, CBD products, full spectrum, isolate. We really kind of dabbled in everything. We formulated the industry's only CBD eye drops, still to this day. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, just take a moment to appreciate, what that looks like, because, that is still, that is what, 5 years now?
Yeah, we're going on 5 years.
5 years.
This year it'll be 5 years.
We formulated that, and besides the obstacles that the federal government has shot out, man, just really taking an innovative step to show what this plant can do.
Right, and holistically, that's what we're all about. We're not going to tell you to stay away from pharmaceuticals and don't worry about your doctor. You'll never hear that from us.
Never.
But we will ask you to please do some research and be open-minded. That's really the only thing we would ever ask of anybody. Be open-minded, because we have a lot of education to share, and we want to share it with everybody.
Yeah, speaking of education, Jane and I, the team that we've been working with for
over 2.5 years,
almost 3 years. We took a lot of that skill set and helped them to create a curriculum course surrounding cannabis. So we've had for seed to sell, from literally from beginning to end, brought that curriculum to lots of medical groups, really trying to
the American Medical Association,
the American Medical Association of Accreditation, really trying to get people to understand that it's medicine as well. We have to start break those taboos, and then really just trying to explain to people what that does in their body, why how hemp supports your health,
Right.
which is literally like the first module. How does hemp support your health? And if you are technical and not afraid of technical language, it's not over the top, but it has some big words. But again, it's really about talking about the plant and connecting it in a real way to why it's important for your health. So that's
right. And like you said, specifically, that was for doctors. So there's a reason it's written in that level. We needed them to understand it where they could break it down to their patients to make sure they understand it. But Lo has also made an entire other version of that.
right, something a little bit more so that when you're onboarding employees, you want to start to set a narrative where everybody's talking about the same thing. One of the biggest challenges in the cannabis space is people not sharing the same information. We do navigate through a very gray area when we talk about products and their effect, because we're not allowed to do that.
Right.
The FDA does not have a treat, cure, prevent stamp on there. So that's, where it goes. But so it's really about, giving employees the basic, or, your staff the basics, and allowing them to navigate in something responsible when they're talking about products,
Right.
And that's where I think where we found a lot of the gaps in the cannabis space. I don't want to say run amok, but run amok. Running amok with mismarketing. Again, nothing is really, it's like deregulated until you're caught doing something. And then it's, a learning milestone for other companies. But that's,
It's not going to cut it.
It's not going to cut it. We have to move forward. And how you do that is through education,
Right. Absolutely.
Marky Mark.
Hi,
Marky Mark. That's like a dream. Marky B. Hi. Thanks for coming in.
USC Studios.
Marky, send message on the wire that LinkedIn's not connecting.
Yeah, LinkedIn shut us down.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go tag me in a post, please, with our YouTube link.
Marky B in the house. Okay, so all right, so we talked about Gina Wellness and kind of where that was. I'm going to go back one step to where Hemp Sisters was born, and that was really just 100% education. So we started more advocacy and activism and education, and we started that mainly on Facebook. And I'm going back 10 years on Facebook. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we
It's epic.
yeah, and Facebook is infamous for censorship, and I live in Facebook jail, but that is where it all began. So we have to give a little credit there, tiny bit of credit. But that's where it started. So Hemp Sisters was all about just education and teaching people about this plant and different uses of the plant, whether it's industrial or nutritional or medical. We talked about it all. And not everyone's ready to hear that, but it was important for us to make sure people understood this plant. I gave up my entire teaching career for this plant so I could be honest about it. And that's as real as it gets. So 10 years straight, we're educating and building this network, and we're to date almost 60,000 people now on Facebook in this Hemp Sisters community that's business networking and personal networking and asking for recommendations and products and you name it. And that's where Lo and I started to kind of see a bigger vision.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that experience with getting in the Facebook community and what really happened, which was the relationships formed between the individuals that were coming in there. It was not a place, I mean, sure, there are people in there like trying to sell your products and all that stuff.
Right.
It was people that were there with stories about their life and how cannabis had changed their lives.
Right.
And I think like the little seed in our own brain was just that particular sense of the community, because it was all around the one plant, right? These conversations and the amount of people, the life altering stories and things.
Endless.
I mean, that they're right. And I think Hemp Sisters Nation all those years later was really just we have community. It may not be ours, but we're all sharing this community around this plant. And we really, with that comes a lot of issues, right? When we're, with people in their own lives and the network that we have, being able to put people together.
Right.
That's the overall picture of it. Hemp Sisters Nation really isn't a monetary thing. There's things to do through that, but it's really about, finding each other and looking for opportunities to learn from each other, and apply, our life experiences, to help each other grow.
Thank you, Mark.
You're hired.
Clayton pop in there. Hi,
Hey, John.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yeah. So Hemp Sisters Nation, and I think, and then just getting a little like our toes dipped into LinkedIn with this plant, because LinkedIn, a very different platform than Facebook, and that was a lot easier on Facebook, but on LinkedIn, the education, which we found out quickly, was much more needed than we thought. Like it was a reality check and a half of where the average human is on this plant. We're in Facebook, we're preaching to the choir a lot of the times, because you're in the community. It's other cannabis people, it's other hemp people, it's growers, and it's retailers, and it's patients, and it's people that live and breathe this plant. But you come to LinkedIn and like, what do you mean it can replace paper and I can eat it? Like, you know what I mean? It's
that was
holy cow.
A experience, because
oh my gosh.
Gina and I, that was us 10 years ago. It was so humbling. Like, oh, we really missed a couple steps for new people.
Oh my gosh.
So that experience has helped us understand, like, what kind of contact do we have to start?
Right.
Because like we're over here, like, on a cellular level.
Right.
And that's not where everybody's at. And that was because we had been around a community of people that, like you said, knew all of that. It was like, oh no, there's like 85% of the population that is still singing Dare.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, Rob, welcome. Thank you. Howard, thank you.
Howard, yay.
See, when you come to our lives, we have you go on a mystery tour.
LinkedIn decided no bueno today.
Yeah, we hit live. It was like, ooh, LinkedIn's not going to do it. We're like, whatever.
Yeah. Forgot you? Never. Yes. Never. We text daily. Okay, so then Hemp Sisters Nation, so we wanted to bring a little more of the community more to the average person, not the community to the already existing community. So, we opened up to LinkedIn and started doing a little more educating and talking about this plant, and the results were like we had no idea what we stepped into. I mean, no idea.
Is that right, Robert? They didn't know that distinction.
So we really had to, retweak the business model, and now we're coming up with some courses because, I mean, you guys are nonstop about what you want to learn now about this plant. So we are working every day to make sure we get you guys everything you need to be able to make good choices in your life. Is that it, Rob? Really? Did he say it?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Roll up for the Hemp Mystery Tour. All aboard. Oh, well, real nice LinkedIn.
Be your guide. Somebody told us that we had one love charms, so
it's true. There's a song about it. All right, what else can we talk about? Feed my starving children. Yeah. You guys know this. We talked about this on LinkedIn. Lo and I have been doing a lot of awareness for June being National Hunger Awareness Month. The statistics are staggering. And we got a little deflated when I put up a poll on LinkedIn, and it seemed like as many people that wanted to upgrade their Netflix was about the same amount of people that wanted to save a starving child. Right. So that's not okay. I don't know if it's the education.
The honesty. I think maybe the only thing I could comprehend because of the total shock of that was that maybe we didn't explain what we are trying to show you guys in a better way. So Gina and I, this childhood hunger and bringing awareness around hunger has been something that's kind of part of things that we are and things that we want to see changed, and the only way to do that is to make the change, be the change.
Be the change.
Right. So what we were putting our feet out is like, what would be the best way? Because we don't want to be like, buy something from us so that we can do this.
Right.
Because we do that with or without you.
Anything. Every product that's sold feeds a starving child. Like every single product that our team sells. And that's been happening for 3 years already.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not enough. So we need more. And we need you guys.
Yeah. So it was not okay, that feeling, but not discouragement. Okay, so where do we go? When people don't understand, we regroup and we go for education. We did get a lot of...
You would think, John, we're going to make sure you do. You will evolve around us.
Every day. You
want to help children, right? You want to save our children, right? That's what you want?
Yeah. I mean, guys, look, it's not cool. 45% of children around the world, in the United States included, 45% of children under 5 die from malnutrition. 45% of children die from malnutrition. Okay, so again, this isn't like there's literally no disease that can make such a claim. It's literally the you know that's weird. It's literally the number one health risk, especially for facing with children. Right? It's a human caused problem. And it's a human solution problem.
Right.
So how do we do that? Okay, so we put out the poverty ebook, and thank you for everybody that did, go through and read it, because there were a lot of links in there. Because it's not just about our cause and where we want to see things going. Like, this is something that you can do in your life, and science will back it up about how it makes you a better person in general.
And God forbid we make the planet a better place in the process. I mean, can you imagine?
You know what I'm saying? So, no, absolutely, you're right. Yes, it is 45%. Yes, you did not hear me. It is incorrectly. So again, this is not, we did the first, we were just going to kind of come out with the hunger thing, but then after the poll thing came in, it was like, maybe we're just not,
we need more.
Given the full picture here, because it's not just hunger. Hunger is a symptom of poverty.
Right.
And that issue is being addressed globally, through the United Nations and all their sustainability. And there's so much philanthropy around this issue because, again, like, you can't solve the world's problems on like empty stomachs and human misery, man. You just can't. So if it's me selling you a bracelet that you're going to wear and rock and, that fed a kid for a week, your purchase, I'm not trying to get you to buy the bracelet. I'm trying to get you to feed a kid for a week.
Right.
That's the goal, right? Like, I'm not a fashion designer, but I'm going to make a bracelet so that you could feed a kid for a week.
Right.
No, Rob, it's disgustingly high percentage. And again, there's no disease on the planet that, can meet that mark. There's no cancer that has that kind of a death rate.
No,
there's no COVID that has that kind of a death rate.
No, this needs to be discussed, and we're not going away. And my network's only growing. Lois's network's only growing. So, and with all of your guys' help and support, I mean, you guys are huge, integral part of all of this. Yeah. Because the word of mouth and you telling, your network, like, hey, listen, we could feed a starving child for an entire month on less than I'll spend on coffee this week or in 2 days. Literally, guys. Literally. Yeah. So we had a lot coming out.
And John, you're right. The political help. So
right.
Poverty itself is a very complex socioeconomic situation. You know what I mean? Which, to bring up why we support Feed My Children, is because of their delivery rate. Right. The 98.6% of their shipments actually made it to where they were going to go. All of their the people that provide the food and the nutrition are local businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
They may probably have some philanthropy through some larger donations and stuff.
And the nutritional value.
Right. These are specifically formulated to meet the nutritional needs of a growing human being. And they're, when we start to introduce a little bit more what we're doing, you'll have some real hard stats about that and what that looks like. What kind of lives to change. I mean, look at it this way. For like $1,000, you can actually feed an entire community of children, 25 children for a year. That is, that is something, again, if we just took one day out of the year to do that for 25 kids, you're not out of your own pocket even. Right. Spreading the word, throwing an event out there and literally
exactly, Mark. When he was a kid, he worked with UNICEF. Same thing.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's nothing for us. It's a cup of coffee for us. Something we do every day of our life without a thought. You go to the coffee house, you get your coffee, you start your day, whatever your routine is. You're spending $5 a time, and if that $5 could potentially feed a child for a month, if we're not doing it, we need to take a look at why. And, everyone needs to save money. We're not all rich. We're not all, set for life. I get that. But I don't believe, and you'd have a hard time convincing me that you don't have $5 a month. I would have a hard time buying that. I don't care who you are. If you're on LinkedIn.
I mean, right. It comes down to, not everybody. Here, maybe the place to start, Gina, is trying to, show people what philanthropy is. We always hear about, Warren Buffett and his $3 billion a year donated, right. And it becomes something like somebody else is handling it. That's a lot of money.
Right. Or you think you need a lot of money to help people.
You need a lot of money. Right.
And that's not the case.
To help people. I'm going to put a link in our little chat here really quick, because if you have not done it, Yeah, this is the ebook on poverty. Inside that ebook is a place where you can click a link for local volunteer options around your area, etc. And I think that's going to be a good place to start, maybe to understand some of those processes. And even in that book, we put down, things you can do. I mean, it's literally something as small as like smiling at somebody. We got a lot of free things in this book that you can do to change someone's life. Gina and I's passion is in feeding children. That might not be yours.
And that's okay.
Yeah, there might be something that's really pressing in your life that you see every day, I, for one, at one point, like one goal I have is like, I want to be able to stand in front of people that, have problems with addiction and talk to them, you know what I mean? And share that and spread my help and charity that way.
Right.
So we just, really just define something you're passionate about and then, put action to it. You know what I mean? No, you're right.
Mark, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally that. I mean, it's 80 cents.
There it is. If you can live without a Starbucks once a week, you could save a village of children. I mean, you're onto something there. And if someone reads that, and how do you justify? I just don't know. I mean, like, if you have even a hint of empathy or compassion, or you really believe that we're all in this together and we're all one and this is our planet, and unless we work together to make it a better place, it's going to shit. Yeah. Like, you can't just say that. You have to mean it and act on it. And that's all of us. That's all of us.
Yeah. There's so many issues. I'll play devil's advocate. I get it. If you turn on the TV today, your mind's going into a place of just wander of overwhelmingness. Sure. That you are just floating in the universe, and there's nothing connecting you or holding you to ground. And again, that's why we really have to look through all of that smog and just find something and work it. You know what I mean? Right. Whether that be through business, whether that be through personal, whatever. We are our own legacies. You know what I mean? And what we do is handed down, whether we like what we've done or not. So knowing that you really just kind of sometimes have to take the upper hand and make it mean something more, not for yourself always, but for somebody else.
Absolutely.
And no, right? John said, I don't think money alone will help. Political, educational. Well,
absolutely.
Right. I mean, going back to the poverty thing, you're not learning when you're starving. Children in the United States, we've worked our social programs to help get food to children at schools to make sure that their mind is on their work, because you can't do that when you're hungry. These things don't exist in underdeveloped or developing countries. School is a dream. And definitely eating at school is a dream.
Clean water is a dream. Clean water is a dream. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have the basics, guys. And we're over here bitching about God knows what every day.
Yeah, it was really, again, and you're right.
You can't unknow this stuff. So, I mean, we're going to drive you guys crazy with it because it's not going away. And the problem's only getting worse after this pandemic. It's only all gotten worse. So it's time to come together.
And it is systemic. Look at like Nigeria, and when they look at solving their poverty, and they're incessantly in a cycle together. These are the things that they talk about. It's their policies, their social policies that don't support it. The child is not about money. No, it's really not, because within the system, you'll find people that donate their time and their services, which could equate to money if you want to think of it like that. But again,
where's money being allocated? That too, like he's saying, he's got some of the rich schools don't even have pencils, right? No. I mean, like what kind of world are we living in?
Yeah, no,
the priorities are non-existent.
Right. I think what you know probably the coolest thing about being out of regular society the last year and a half is really just seeing how indoctrinated we are to a specific way of thinking. Because when you're away from that, and you start to see things kind of open up in a different way. I mean, man, the brainstorming that comes off it, when you look at it, like you mentioned something about pencils. Gina and I spent the last year homeschooling our kids, on our own dime. Right. And literally just watching people that weren't teaching our children, in these testing benchmarks and things like that. And the kids taking the tests, and then the kids doing good or not doing good, but no action after, like literally a number for a budget. And
that's it.
I mean, I was blown away. You
And
know,
I was a teacher, so I was ready.
yeah, Gina was not surprised. I was like a whole new world. Like, again, though, where are priorities? You know what I mean? And a school's priority, a public school, is to have funding for their school.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
And make sure your kid's there because that's part of the funding. Sad but true, guys.
Rain or shine, get them in there.
So bottom line is, we have a lot of work to do, top to bottom, right to left, inside and out.
And we want to work with our networks in this community, because again, like, one of the bigger things about charity and philanthropy and all these things is like having the ability to sit with like people and make something happen. Okay, make something happen, right? We all sit here and I watch these beautiful live events about, you know, being a mentor, and taking business and, you know, transforming it and transforming its culture. Like, let's get some human behaviors in there that actually impact outside of the office.
And change what they're already doing. You know what I mean? Just take it up a notch.
What do you say? Gina's a teacher, Lolo's the enforcer. It's so opposite. We're both teachers, but she's definitely the enforcer. It's her personality type.
True. Got a firm backhand.
Right.
Ow. All right. I don't know, guys. I mean, we got a lot of work to do, and you're going to hear from us a lot, and we're going to start doing weekly lives, and we're going to talk about this, and we're probably going to do monthly fundraisers. Yeah. Because I don't think the education part's enough. You know, we got to light a fire under some people and fix our LinkedIn Live while we're at it. Yeah, no, this is going to get fixed by next time. We'll figure out what happened. But yeah, like, there's so many things that we do in our personal lives that we want to be able to, like, here, you know, like, this is a gift from me, you take this, and somebody gets helped. Right. And we want to be able to set those metrics and then share with you the success of that and what that looks like in a real way. Right. Again, we talked a little bit about when we first came out. Gina Wellness is a business that generates revenue from product development, and consultations and Hemp Sisters Nation. Right. And we utilize the resources that we have to try to generate things, you know, for your health, right? Giving you products that are health-based and really focused and educational in there, and then helping somebody besides ourselves, you know, with those things. And bringing awareness along the way, because like, most of you will message me on a daily basis. Like, this is not everyday knowledge. This is not something you were taught in school. This is not something you learned at work. This is not, no one wants to talk about health and wellness and well-being and holistic remedies and what, you know, Mother Nature has to offer. That's not the average conversation, but it's in our house. So we're going to try and get it a little more every day in your house as well, if you'll let us. If you'll let us in, just knocking at the door daily with stuff. I mean, you know, John's here. I mean, we have some things to go over, but I mean, like, there's so many, even in this room right now, I mean, the people that we've talked to, they have a vision, right? And it looks different for everything, but their end vision is well thought out. Yeah. Just need those helpful and supportive elements, you know, to get it to the right hands. And that was also one of our, like, stronger suits, you know, from our earlier days. Yes, we need your funds and your help fundraising. Thank you. Yes, he's blind. Well, Gina created a product called See Better Daily. We have eye drops. Don't worry, we got you. Yeah, we got you. What other excuse you got? And I'm a great leader. Like, you can grab the elbow. We'll bring you down the aisles. This is awesome. No, for sure. You that wandered over to YouTube. Oh my God, guys, honestly, thank you so much. Yeah. It's the first time we've ever been live. All our favorite people are here. Yeah, and that support means the world to us. And now you're just going to be stuck with us. Look what you got yourselves into. Yeah. Tough, but yeah. Well, gosh, I mean, maybe we should just wrap it up and try and fix our LinkedIn Live and get back at it again. Yeah. Sure. Thank you guys so much. Honestly, thank you for tuning in. And we will be back at it probably next week. If we could, if you have, thank you. We're getting all the comments in, and Robbie is such a kidder. He's the best. Yeah, right. Quite honestly, we got 3 of our favorite people that we've had on the Hempy Hour podcast are in the room today. Yeah, that's way cool, guys. Yeah, we appreciate it. Loss is in there, but thank you. Yes, very much. Thank you very much. The Hempy Hour will post tomorrow. Wednesday is our day of the Hempy Hour, so we'll have a podcast out tomorrow. We'll be live again next week. We'll keep you guys posted. Patreon will be launching soon, and that'll be directly connected to Feed My Starving Children, and you guys will have messages in your inbox ready to help and spread with your network, and let's save our children. Let's feed some babies together and make this world a better place.
Love.
One love. Bye, guys. Thanks again.